It's a beautiful day in Melbourne. We are here for almost 8 weeks and we want to take you along while we explore the city center, the markets, Chinatown, arcades, laneways, and the lively Waterside district.
Let's go exploring. We love walking around cities and think it's one of the best ways to really see and experience a whole city. And Melbourne happens to have curated guides and walking tours on their website and at info centers. So we're going to do some today and we want to show you our highlights. Melbourne is a big metropolitan city. There's around 5 million people here. There are a lot of tall buildings, but what I'm really impressed with is how they've used the alleys in between. They don't call them alleys, they call them laneways because they've converted these places to be pedestrian friendly. So they're all very well paved, and in fact there are storefronts and restaurants within these laneways. So instead of just a scary place to put your garbage, they've actually become places where pedestrians can walk through and hang out and shop and enjoy. This one's pretty cool because it looks like this was a courtyard, an open courtyard in this building, but it looks like they have recently covered it and they put this cool art installation on top, and now there are different floors that you can walk across to get to the other side in this lane. I like it. It looks really cool.
This is the Royal Arcade. It is Melbourne's oldest arcade, and it's actually the oldest still standing arcade in all of Australia.
This last one's kind of weird because half of it is a restaurant. You walk into an alley and then you're at the front of a restaurant. And people are wondering what you're doing walking here. All the arcades and laneways we've walked through are very well connected. They're very close together, maybe a block or so apart. I'm loving the use of outdoor space here and converting it into pedestrian areas. You can see that locals use it to get around in everyday life. And I love the promotion of outdoor space and making use of every inch in the city and converting something that would usually be maybe dirty or something you don't want to look at and turn it into a place that you actually want to be. And I love that. I imagine that rent is probably cheaper in these types of laneways. So this is usually where you can find the smaller, non-franchise, non-chain shops. So smaller and local coffee shops and restaurants. You can spend a whole day just walking around or even just sitting on a patio without listening to traffic. Little walk away is Chinatown. It's on Little Burke Street. This is the oldest Chinatown in the Southern Hemisphere, and it's pretty cool because we are in the state of Victoria, but last year we were on Vancouver Island in the city of Victoria, where they have the Northern Hemisphere's second oldest Chinatown and the oldest Chinatown in Canada. So we're just going to all the old Chinatowns. There's lots to do here, lots to see and eat, a lot of bars, a lot of authentic food. It's also very long, so let's keep going.
And I'll do red bean. Or no, I'll do coconut.
Can't resist a good bun.
So good.
Wow, this is the realest taro I've ever had. It's so good. I was like not even planning to talk about the buns at all, but this is, wow, legit. Soft bread too. take a look at this very governmental, official building behind us. We made it to the Parliament of Victoria at the edge of town. It's the weekend though, so they are closed. Not only that, but there's a lot of police and security in the area, and they didn't even let a wedding party up the steps. And I feel like they have a way better reason to be up the steps than we do, so we're not gonna try. But it just feels like something's about to happen because there's also police like closing off the road this way. So we're gonna wait and see what happens. Hopefully something cool. But I think this is the furthest we're gonna get to see the Parliament of Victoria. Okay, we have a visual. It's a protest. Let's check it out. So today we learned that in Australia, they also have the right to protest. So that's nice. And it looks like the police are getting some overtime today. Big cities, am I right?
Another really cool thing that you'll find when you're going through these alleys and laneways is there's a lot of street art. And some of the alleys, like Hosier Lane, are completely dedicated to it. Like, this place is wild. Every single inch of this laneway is covered in street art, and it looks like it's all from different artists, and there's like layers upon layers of it. Like, physically you can see the layers of paint, so it looks like it's always changing. This is really cool. We're standing in Federation Square, or Fed Square as they call it here, which is the 6th best square in the world. I don't know who's counting that, but apparently Melbourne is, because they're proud of it. And rightly so. This is a really cool space, and actually was built on top of train tracks. So it's right in the heart of the city on what would have been an eyesore and an earsore for that matter, and instead is this beautiful, useful space that is dedicated to the arts, entertainment, and cultural sector of the city. And since its founding in 2002, has become a hub for all things arts and culture in Melbourne. People gather here for all kinds of events. They have stages and screens, there's restaurants and bars, there's always something going on here. It's super lively, and it is a must stop when you're in the city. Also, super convenient, it's right across the street from the train station.
Flinders Station is the main train hub of the city. It's probably one of the prettiest train stations I've ever seen in Australia. Like, look how long and beautiful it is. That sounds weird. Not only is the transportation into the city center great, transport within is also very accessible because there is a really well-connected system of trams and buses that are all free within the central business district. So from here, we're gonna hop onto a tram and we're gonna head over to the water by the Docklands. Over on the west side of the city is the Docklands. Right now we're in the district Docklands. It's a really cool spot for restaurants, bars, activities, and you can even find the Melbourne Star here. It's the giant merry-go-round, Ferris wheel. The Southern Hemisphere's largest observation deck. It's closed right now. It's been closed since 2021, so it's kind of just a cool thing to look at for now. This whole promenade is so cool. It's like a cool mix between an indoor and outdoor space where it's technically like an outdoor covered walking area, but it's air conditioned and just really nice to walk in. You get the breeze, but you also get air conditioning.
It's pleasant.
It's pleasant, yeah. So even if it's like rainy or super sunny, you feel like you're outside because there's also birds everywhere. It's just really nice. Just across the street, we're at the new Quay Promenade at Victoria Harbour. Because we're on the west side, this is probably the nicest place that you can watch the sunset from. You can take a nice evening stroll along the water, feel the cool breeze on you, and walk towards the sunset. Look at those people.
On a boat.
They're on the bar boats. I love those. On the south end of the Docklands is the Yarra River, and we are crossing over it right now on the Webb Bridge. Architecturally, it is really cool. It is built like a Koori fishing trap, so it's got a little squiggle on it, it's got some netting, it's really cool. This huge stretch of boardwalk along the Yarra River straight towards the city center is called the South Wharf Promenade, and it's poppin'. It's so busy. There's so many restaurants and cool venues all along the water, and it's like the place to be right now.
It's gorgeous.
Especially walking around sunset, perfect. Continuing further towards Federation Square and the city center, it's only getting busier. The south side of the river has become Southbank. It is the prime place for restaurants, walking along the sidewalk and getting balloons and looking at street performers, just a whole bunch of nightlife-y but also family-friendly things to do. So especially like right now in the summer, it is busy. And by balloons, I mean the kids' folded balloons. I forget, what are they? Balloon animals. Yes, balloon animals. There's a lot of people making them. We hope you enjoyed our walking tour of Melbourne. We'll see you in the next one. Bye! You can even find the Melbourne Star here. It's the really tall no, why do I keep saying merry-go-round? It's not a merry-go-round.
You're putting in merry-go-round now.
It's a Ferris wheel at Victoria Harbour.